हरिः ओम् नमः सर्वेभ्यः। अष्टाध्यायी परिचयः इत्यत्र सुबन्तप्रकरणस्य अद्य 11 अभ्यासवर्गः। तेन शुक्लाम्बरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। येनाक्षरसमाम्नयमधिगम्य महेश्वरात् कृत्स्नं व्याकरणं प्रोक्तं तस्मै पाणिनिये नमः। वाक्यकारं वरऋषिं भाष्यकारं पतञ्जलिं पाणिनिं सूत्रकारं च प्रणतोऽस्मि मुनित्रयम्। So this is the order for today. We will start with Vari and Madhu, which we skipped in the yesterday, or which we could not do in the yesterday's class, and then we will go with the list of the words from Hrud, Var, and so on up to Sarva and Amba. But before that, there has been a significant discussion on the group about the sutras. Atvasantasya cha dhatoho napumsakasya jhalachaha, not napumsakasya, udidacham sarvanamasthanya dhatoho santamahata sanyogasya. So let us understand what exactly is the problem and how that problem has been resolved, or how that problem gets resolved. So a lot of you have reached near the answer, but connecting links are slightly missing. So I saw a lot of messages where you are almost there, but one fundamental point is missing, which makes it unclear whether you have really understood the entire thing or whether you are randomly picking bits and pieces from somewhere. So let us understand this. uh, I will not ask anybody to speak at the moment because we don't have time. I'll just give the answer. I'll just explain the whole process, and then if there are any doubts, I can take them up. So let us first of all recollect the question. The question was about the prakriya of Shreyan, and what you are seeing on the slide is the correct prakriya of Shreyan, where you start with Shreyas plus Su. You do Atvasantasya Chadhatoho first, making an akar of akara. So Shreyas upadhadirgha. Then you do Gidacham Sarvanamasthanya Dhatoho. Nakara is added, and then you say Shreyan S, and then Shreyan is generated. So the point to observe is that Atvasantasya Chadhatoho, which is 6-4, comes before Ugidacham, which is 7-1. The question that I proposed was, here there is a Vipratishedha, and I'm going to show how that Vipratishedha exists on the next slide as well. But because of this Vipratishedha, if we choose Vipratishedhe Paramkaryam and go with Ugidacham Sarvanamasthanya Dhatoho, we can still get a correct form. So you go with Ugidacham Sarvanamasthanya Dhatoho and add a N first, and then obviously Atvasantasya Dhatu is not applicable because there is no Swara in the Upadha. Almost all of you understood it. There have been multiple messages on this point. So we are not saying that after Ugidacham Sarvanamasthanya Dhato, we will apply Atvasantasya. We are not saying that. Atvasantasya is gone. There was a Vipratishedha between Atvasantasya and Ugidacham. Ugidacham won that war. Atvasantasya has been defeated. So Ugidacham is applied. And after that, you can apply Santamahata Sanyogasya, which explicitly causes a Dirgha before Na plus Sa combination. And therefore, you have Shreyan Sa, finally giving the same form as Shreyan. So the question was, which approach is correct? And in all the commentaries in the classes, we have said that the first approach is correct. And the very fundamental question that was over here was, why is Ugidacham being overpowered by Atvasantasya Chadhatuho? So before we move ahead, let us understand the relationship between Atvasantasya Dhatoho and Ugidacham Sarvanamasthanya Dhatoho. So first thing to understand is that there is a Vipratishedha between the two. What is Vipratishedha? We have seen it multiple times, but let me repeat it once again. Vipratishedha means every sutram must have a separate place to act where the other sutram cannot interfere. And then there is a third place where the other sutram can interfere, so it's an overlap. So you need a separate example of Atvasantasya Chadhatoho where Ugidacham cannot even come in that situation. So the example that we got in the class yesterday was Chandramas plus Su. Chandramas is not an Ugit word. So Ugidacham Sarvanamasthanya Dhato has no business to come over there. Therefore, Chandramas plus Su, simply you do an Akara by Atvasantasya Chadhatoho, you get Chandramaha. This is a place where Atvasantasya Chadhatoho has its independent place for execution. Same thing can be talked about Udacham Sarvanamasthanya Dhatoho. If you take Prathama Dvivachan of the Bhavat word, Bhavat plus Au, now there is no Su Pratyaya. Atvasantasya cha dhatoho is only for the su pratyaya. Therefore, Atvasantasya cha dhatu has no business to appear over here. Therefore, you have bhavat plus au. Numagama happens. Bhavana plus ta plus au bhavanto is the final form generated. So you have two separate independently operating examples, and the problem of the Yugapat Karya simultaneous application comes in the cases like Shreyas plus Su, which was the first word that we studied yesterday or discussed yesterday, and Bhavat plus Su, which was ironically the second word that we discussed yesterday. Not ironically, I purposely ordered those words that way. But Shreyas plus Su and Bhavat plus Su, what happens is in both these cases, because there is a Su pratyaya and this Atu or Asa, Atvasantasya cha dhatu is applicable. And because both Shreyas and Bhavat are Ugit words, therefore Ugidacham Sarvanama Sthane Adhatoho is also applicable. Now, out of these two, we saw that in case of Shreyas plus Su, if we use the normal Vipratishedhe Param Karyam, because right over here, when there is a Vipratishedha, we should be using Vipratishedhe Param Karyam, which means we should be using Ugidacham Sarvanamasthane Adhatoho. And we actually saw that in case of Shreyas plus Su, on the previous slide, if we choose Ugidacham Sarvanamasthane Adhatoho over Atvasantasya cha dhatoho, we can get the same correct form Shreyan by applying Sandamahata Sanyogase in the next step. Therefore, so far so good, nothing is problematic. It is a classic example of Vipratishedha. There is an independent example for the first sutram, namely Chandramas plus Su. There is an independent example of second sutram, namely Bhavat plus Au. And when there is a Vipratishedha called Shreyas plus Su, we choose Vipratishedhe Param Karyam. We go to Gidacham Sarvanamasthane Adhatu. After that, we apply Atvasantas. After that, we apply Sandamata Sanyogase and we get the final form. So far so good. No surprises over here. The surprises start appearing when you go to the next word Bhavat plus Su, because Vipratishedhe Param Karyam is a rule that needs to be applied for every member that sits in that overlap. So if Shreyas plus Su sits in that overlap, you need to apply Ugidacham for Shreyas plus Su, which we successfully did. Now, when Bhavat plus Su stands in that overlap, you also need to apply the same rule, same approach, same strategy, same technique for Bhavat plus Su, and therefore we must apply Ugidacham Sarvanamasthane Adhatoho for Bhavat plus Su also. But if you apply Ugidacham Sarvanamasthane Adhatoho for Bhavat plus Su, you will introduce a Nakara and then you have no way to go ahead. You cannot apply Santamahata Sanyogasya because this is not a Na plus Sa. And you cannot apply Atvasantasya cha dhatoho because there is no Swara in the Upadha. So if you quietly follow the rule of Vipratishedhe Param Karyam, which you actually followed in Shreyas plus Su, there is a problem for Bhavat plus Su. And therefore, in order to get the correct Prakriya for Bhavat plus Su, we have no choice but to break the rule of Vipratishedha. You can call it Purva Vipratishedha, but that's not how the commentaries say. Commentaries explicitly say that when there is a Vipratishedha between Atvasantasya cha dhatoho and Ugidacham Sarvanamasthanya dhatoho, if you follow the natural instinct and go with the Parasutram, Shreyas plus Su will still work, but Bhavat plus Su will not work. Therefore, for specific examples like Bhavat plus Su, we need to flip the rule and we need to say that when there is a Vipratishedha between Atvasantasya and Ugidacham, let us make a paribhasha, let us make a new statement, let us make a new rule that Atvasantasya cha dhatoho tatha cha Ugidacham sarvanamasthane dhatoho ityetayoho madhye yada Vipratishedha bhavati tada परसूत्रस्य कार्यं न भवति अपितु आदौ पूर्वसूत्रस्य एव कार्यं भवति and therefore atvasantasya cha dhatu has to win over there. That's a rule that we are making because without that rule we will never be able to derive the form called bhavan. Therefore, Bhavat plus Su is the configuration that forces us to flip the Vipratishedha and make a new rule. What is the rule? The conflict between Atvasantasya cha dhatoho and Ugidacham Sarvanamasthanya dhatoho forces a win over Atvasantasya cha dhatoho over Ugidacham Sarvanamasthanya dhatoho. So we have Atvasantasya cha dhatoho and then you can apply Ugidacham because that's the next step. In the next step, the Ugidacham rule can come again by the Vyakhyana Samarthya. So you bring that Ugidacham rule again on the next step to say Bhavatna ta, and then there is no need of Vyakhyana Samarthya also. Normal Vyakhyana Samarthya in the sense normal sutra meaning can be used to apply that Ugidacham Sarvanamasthani Dhato. So you apply the Ugidacham Sarvanamasthani Dhato and create the final form of Bhavan. So now we are able to create the final form Bhavan, but as a side effect, we have created a paribhasha. What is the paribhasha we have created? Atvasantasya chadhatoho wins over Ugidacham when there is Vipratishedo. That is the paribhasha that you have created. And then now when you have created that paribhasha, you have to go back to the previous slide and then say that, well, whatever paribhasha I created for Bhavat plus Su, I need to be consistent. I cannot randomly apply one prakriya for one word in this overlap and one prakriya for another word in this overlap. Therefore, I will apply the same paribhasha for Shreyas plus Su, not because I am forced to do it, but because I have established a precedence due to Bhavat plus Su. That is Parjanyavad Lakshana Pravrutti, which we discussed in the group. So somebody said Parjanyavad and I said almost correct. But what Parjanyavad? It is the Parjanyavad Vritti of that Paribhasha. The Paribhasha was forced for Bhavat plus Su, and now it is there. Parjanyavad, it will be applied to Shreyas plus Su. And therefore, in case of Shreyas plus Su, on the previous slide, even though the right hand side is correct, we cannot go by the right hand side. We must apply Atvasantasya before Ugidacham, giving rise to the correct Prakriya on the left hand side, which we learned in the course. So that was a running explanation, but I hope everybody's doubts are thoroughly clear at this moment. Please watch this recording, at least this first 12 minutes once again, so that your understanding of this particular relationship between the sutras becomes more and more clear. Any questions on this particular point? Feel free to raise hand. We can take them. If not, we will move to Vari and Madhu. Okay, no questions. Let us go to the Vari word. Sudhavalli ji, are you here? Can you raise your hand? Namaste.
Namaskaram Mahoday. Ikaranta napunsakalingaha Vari shabdaha tasya arthaha jalam ghee samyak.
This is not English ghee, Ghee. This is Aswa ghee, Sanskrit ghee. Okay.
Pratama ekavachanam su Vari plus Su. All those things Saujas.
Whatever you have written in the red line, that's all.
Swamor napunsakat.
Very good. That's all. That's all. Vari plus
Vari
Su.
shabda.
Sambodhana ekavachana.
Sambodhana ekavachana. Vari plus Su. Atra Swamor napumsakat luk bhavati.
Very good.
Here Rupadvayam asti santi. Vari shabdah. Swamor napumsakat luk bhavati. Sakarasya lopah hraswasya gunah angas gune prapte nallumatangasya ittanena nishidyate. So we are getting Vari. Vare Vari and Vare also Anitvatvat Napuns Nallumatangasya Sutrasya Anityatvat Hasvasya Gunaha Pakshikaha Gunaha Bhavati. It is a special case, Visheshaha Vishayaha. So we are getting Vare.
Correct. What is Anitya? What is Anitya? Sutra forgets to apply.
Temporary.
Correct. Temporarily Sutra will not be applied. So Nanumatangasya, which blocks the Angakarya, is not coming. So a block is not coming. Therefore, original Sutra will come. Rasvasya Guna will do a Guna. We will get a new word called Vare. And obviously Vari is already there. Okay. Next, Vari plus Au.
Pratama Dvitiya Dvivachanam Au out. Yatha Kramena Pratyaya. She Adesha Pare out Pare वारी प्लस् शी अत्र सूत्रस्य सूत्र संख्या 7119 नपुंसकास्य नपुंसकलिङ्ग औ औट् प्रत्यये परे शी आदेशः नपुंसकास्य we get ango apah after that napumsakasya so vari plus he so all the
that's okay. Next
takarase paratvat we get ikochi vibhakto. Here the sutram is very important. Ikochi vibhakto paratvat napumsakas jalascha also we get numagama.
Wait. Why is napumsakasya jalacha applicable over here? What is
not applicable?
Why is it applicable over here? No, but why is it even a candidate? You are saying it is a possible to apply, but we don't apply. That's what you are saying, right? So my question is, why is it possible to apply?
Sarvanamasthana.
Is this a Sarvanamasthana? No, right? So in the Napumsakalinga, Prathama Dvivachan, so there is no conflict over here. The only sutram is Ikochi Vibhakti. What you are talking is for the next one. Raswa.
Next,
Shi.
yes.
Just clear? Okay.
Vari na plus yi. Varini atkupanga numyavayopi natvam.
Very good. So Varini, there is no conflict. Only sutram is Ikochi Vibhakta is what comes over here. Okay. Next word.
Vari plus Prathama Bahuvachanam just pratyay pare.
Let's read only the red thing. Correct.
Jashoshi 7120.
Okay.
7120 Sutra Sankhya. Jashoshi Shi Adeshah. Here also Ikochi Vibhakta, but Sarvanamasthana Atra Napunsaka Jalacha Parasya Napunsakas Jalacha the Sutra Sankhya is 7172.
72 is Napunsakas
Jalacha.
Correct.
73 Parasya Varin plus E Atra Inhan Pushan Niyama Sutram Asti. Varin plus E Varini.
But tell me what is Inhan Pushan Yamnamsho?
Inhan Pushan so Atra Dirgah Varin plus E Varin Dirgah Asti. Inhan Pushan Niyama Sutra. So we are getting Varini.
Niyama for which vidhi? What is the main rule for which this is a niyama?
That is sorry.
Sarvanamasthane
cha sambuddho.
इत्यनेन सर्वनामस्थाने परे उपधा दीर्घा भवति. इन्हन् पुषार्यमणांशौ इति शी प्रत्यये परे एव भवति.
अत्र रिन् इन् अस्ति चेत् दीर्घ प्राप्नोति.
Okay, so therefore you have vari. Therefore she pratyaya pare she is this rasva she, not dirgha. So varini iti bhavati. Vari varini tritiya ekvachanam same ikochi vibhaktau blocked by let's take this is not ikochi vibhaktau. Vari plus ta. Atra
आङ्गोनास्त्रियं न प्राप्नोति गी सम्यक् नपुंसकलिङ्गे अस्ति चेत् नो स्त्रीलिङ्ग अस्ति स्त्रीलिङ्ग न चेत् आङ्गोनास्त्रियं इकोचि विभक्तो बाधित्वा आङ्गोनास्त्रियं न आदेशः.
Correct. So paratvat badhitva angonastyam iti na adeshe krute varina iti rupam वारेभ्याम, वारिभिः, वारिणे. Let's talk about पूर्व विप्रतिषेधम्. वारी प्लस नी.
पूर्व अत्र वार्तिकम् अस्ति. वृद्धि औत्व तृज्वद्भाव गुणेभ्यो नुम पूर्व प्रतिषेधेन. नुम, so we have to get नुम करणीयः. अत्र येरिति प्राप्नोति, किन्तु इकोचि विभक्तौ should be applied here.
Correct.
Because of this vartikam.
Because of this vartikam, so purva vipratishedah has to be done. Very good. Okay.
Done. So numagama varin plus ye, varine, varini.
Correct. Very good. And same for others. Varinaha,
varinam. Nas.
That's
and
okay.
Varinam is different.
Varinam. Let's go to Varinam.
Varinam.
Another purva vipratishedah.
Num chir तृज्वद्भावोभ्यो नुट् पूर्वप्रतिषेधेन.
Very good.
ह्रस्वनुत्योपनुट्. ह्रस्वनुत्योपनुट् आपः नदी आगन्त आमि परे नुट् भवति. अत्र ह्रस्व अस्ति. वारि वारिनां नाम 643 नामी अंगस्य दीर्घः. वारीनां वारिणां वारिणां.
Very good. Very good.
Point.
Very good. Did we discuss we have discussed all this when we discussed Anadi a few classes ago, but I did ask a question, what will happen if this Vartika was not there? If this Vartika was not there, how would the Prakriya go and what would be the problem? So specifically, I am asking about Vari plus Ava. Let's assume this Vartikam doesn't exist. How would the Prakriya go?
Ikochi Vibhakti will act, and that is Mittagamaha.
Okay, so where will it get applied?
You have Vari plus Num.
Na plus Am.
Num.
And then what? It's the same configuration, Vari plus Na Am. You're also getting Vari plus Na Am. And then what?
Varinam.
So you'll get eventually the same form, right? So if this Vartika was not there, as you mentioned correctly, Num will appear. But Num, it's a Swaranta word. So Num will happen at the end. Antyat achaha paraha. So Varin plus Am, Varinam. Anybody? So why is this Vartika created? Savita ji.
Nami na pravartate kila mahodaya.
Satyam. See the difference. If you do Varin plus Am, Na iti angasya avayavaha. This is Varin plus Am. If you do Nudagamaha, it is Vari plus Na Am. Na iti pratyayasya avayavaha. That is the difference. And therefore, when it is a pratyayasya avayavaha, Nami iti pravarteta yena dirghaha bhavati yaha ishyate. When it is angasya avayavaha, there is no nama pratyaya, nami will not happen. Okay? Any questions over here? This is the reason why Shashinam is Shashin plus Am, Shashinam is Raswa. And this is the reason why that Nami, Shatchaturbhyascha and other sutras are created. Whereas Panchan plus Am, Panchanam, that Dirgha is done over there. So explicit sutram has been created over there because you want that Dirgha even when Nakara is part of Anga. So everything is convoluted and mixed up to create the final structure over here. Anyway, Varini, Varinoho, Varishu, everything is same. Adesha Pratyaya is the last thing. We have discussed it many times. One question, thank you very much. So this is all that you are going to present. Thank you very much. Very well presented. One question that I asked while Anadi was being discussed and I did not answer it. Nobody has even discussed that on the group. Is the question as it is. As follows. You are having Ikochi Vibhaktau as a sutram which gives the Numagama in case of Ajadi Vibhaktis. So you did not apply Ikochi Vibhaktau in case of like Bhyam and so on. So for example, let's take this example of Bhya, Vari plus Bhyasa. There is no Ikochi Vibhakto because it is not an Ajadi Pratyaya. The question that I had asked was, what would happen if the word Achi is removed from this sutram and make the simple sutram Iko Vibhaktau. So whenever there is a Vibhakti Pratyaya, for a napumsakalinga word, let's take vari. For the vari word, iganta napumsakalinga, whenever there is a vibhakti pratyaya, you do a numagama. So why differentiate between achi versus non-achi? Just do a numagama. So this is a question. Does anybody want to think about it? It was asked long back when the anadi word was discussed. Otherwise, I'll again remind you this question, just like the way yesterday you talked about Ugidacham on the group. Start talking about this particular question in the group. What is the point of adding achi in ikochi vibhakta? What would happen if achi is not there? So I'm happy if somebody wants to answer right away. Otherwise, take this as a question for discussion. If nobody is able to answer, I will answer it tomorrow. Savita ji, Madhu. Where are you? Can you raise your hand? Namaste.
Namaskaram, Mahodaya.
Namaste. Let's start. It's identical, but we'll do it.
Yes.
That's okay.
Ukaranta napumsakalinga madhu shabdah. Man plus u, unadi pratyaya.
Have you written that anywhere? Okay. Okay.
I didn't write, Mahodaya.
Man plus what? Good. Man plus?
U, unadi pratyaya.
And how
Nasyadaha.
Okay. Nasyadaha.
Madhu. Nasyadaha. Madhu iti siddhyati. Suptingamantam iti padasamya. Madhu plus su pratyaya yoge समो नपुंसकात् इत्यनेन लुक् भवति सम्बुद्धेः रूपद्वयं भवति महोदय अत्र न लिखितं मधु समानं सुप्रत्यये परे लुक् भवति द्वितीयः तु
what is this? Why are you invoking ingrasvat sambuddhehe? See, the prakriya should go as follows. You have madhu plus su. First thing that happens is swamor napumsakat gets rid of su. Rasvasya goda and so on doesn't come anywhere. First is su has to be killed by swamor napumsakat. Only so this particular first two steps. Then madhu will remain. After that you say this is sambodhanasya rupam. No chet nalvadangasya ityasya anittvatvad rasvasya guna iti pravartate gune krute madhu iti rupam. Eng rasvat sambuddhe ityasya prasaktihi nasti. Eng rasvat sambuddhe is 6.1 varna karyam. Swamor napumsakat is anga karyam. It will proceed. And it will be used. Okay. So same prakriya and just add rasvasya guna after that.
Astu.
Okay. Madhuni.
Madhu. औ औट् प्रत्यये परे नपुंसकाच्च इत्यनेन षि आदेशः भवति लशक्वतद् समानम् इकोचि विभक्तौ इत्यन्त इगन्तस्य नपुंसकस्य अङ्गस्य नुमागमः भवति.
What is this? Why not inhan pusharyamnam show? I want to look at that particular sutram. First of all, let's go to Shabdapatha and talk about Vari. What did I write over here? It's correct. Inhan pusharyamnam show. You remember we discussed inhan pusharyamnam show earlier in the case of Vari word. So why not use that over here? Sudhavalli ji.
Atra in shabdah
basic thing. This is not innanta. This is unnanta. So inhan pusharyamnam shav iti atra na prayujyate. Madhuni iti atra sarvanama sthane cha sambuddha iti sarvanama
sthane. Gatam tata mahodaya. I didn't even think about in or in.
Sometimes what happens is we confuse between ikka, which is iu, rulu, everything we take together. And then that's not the case over here. So inhan pusharyamnam show. So observe this, that if inhan pusharyamnam show was not there, let's assume that sutram inhan pusharyamnam show was not there, you would get madhuni without problem. In the same way, you will get varini without problem. Because sarvanama sthane cha sambuddho, this is a sarvanama sthana, this is a sambuddhi, nakaranta sangasya upadhaya dirghi krute, varini iti avashyam siddhati. So whether in is there in inhan pusharyamnam show or not, it does not matter for the prakriya of vari or for madhu. That particular sutram is for other cases. It is purely that this particular sutram has been given. So by Parjanya Vrutti, we will use it for Varin. So let's take this point a little bit details. If you go to Inhan Pusharyamnam Shaw, in is actually not needed in that sutra. It is, I think, for Uttarartha, if I am not in. Han Pusharyamnam Shau. Some commentaries will write somewhere. Now I'm not able to. Uttarartha somewhere. It's probably used for it's used for words like dandin and so on. But I don't know why they have used it over here. I'll find out more about it, whether it is for Uttarartha or whether there are sensible cases for the Shi Pratyaya, specifically for Innanta words. Okay, so that is Madhu, Madhuni. Somebody is giving an answer to the previous question. Varin plus Bhyam इत्यत्र इकोचि विभक्तौ इति न स्यात् चेत् वारिणभ्याम् इति भवेत्, and then वारिणभ्याम् इति भवेत्. So what is the problem, Alaknanda ji, in this particular thinking, or anybody? The statement was varin. Sudhavalli ji, tell me.
प्रयोगः
भ्याम परे शब्द will become पदसंज्ञा भवति.
Very good.
नकारस्य लोपः.
Very good. न लोपः प्रातिपदिकान्तस्य will get rid of nakara. I wouldn't have asked this question if it was so simple, right? So if it was simplifying bhyam, it was obvious. So nakarasya lopah bhyam bhyasu sarvatra bhavati. Why? Because the anga becomes the pada, the prakriti becomes the pada, and therefore that nakara is removed, and therefore you still have varin bhyam. So the question, why is achi added in that ikochi vibhakta? So it's a complex question. Think about it. Okay, so madhubhyam, madhubhihi, madhunge. Let's talk about madhu plus nge. I think you need to write prakriya in more details with vipratishedha, purva vipratishedha and so on, right? You can speak for now.
Yeah. पूर्वविप्रतिषेधः भवति तत्र नपुंसकस्य जलजः इति भवितुम् अर्हति, किन्तु इकोच विभक्तौ एव
घेर्ङिति इति गुणे. We are talking about chaturthi ekvachanam. घेर्ङिति. Oh, you are talking about just pratyaya. So we are still back at the just pratyaya. Okay. Yeah, that's okay. Speak. That's okay. It's a vipratishedha, not purva vipratished. So napumsakasya jalacha ityanena. Correct.
इदानीं आफ्टर् दट् सर्वनामस्थाने च असम्बुद्धौ इत्यनेन दीर्घः भवति, तावदेव.
Let's go to 4.1. Just explain this part.
मधु योगे ने नुम्
इकोचि विभक्तौ इति नुमागमे कृते मधुने इति रूपं. परन्तु तत्र इकोचि विभक्तौ इत्यत्र पूर्व विप्रतिषेधः अस्ति. That you have to explain. पूर्व विप्रतिषेधः with whom? We just now discussed in case of Ari, right?
नपुंसकस्य जलचे 72 किल महोदय.
That is napumsakasya jalacha is for sarvanama sthana. We are past jas and shas. We are coming to 4.1 nye pratyaya. There is no napumsakasya jalacha over here. There is a different sutram that acts. 5 minutes ago we discussed. Ghi samnya is there. Gherngiti, somebody is writing.
Gherngiti इति न प्रवर्तते.
पूर्वविप्रतिषेधेन.
पूर्वविप्रतिषेधेन नुमागमः एव इकोचि विभक्तौ एव प्रवर्तते.
Correct. And in case of tritiya ekvachanam, there is no purva vipratishedah. You actually apply angonastriyam. So here also gherngiti might be able to come over here because it's not gherngiti at all. Ikochi vibhaktu will come over here. Ikochi vibhaktu versus angonastriya, but you use angonastriya. So bhyam, bhyas, nasingas, everything is the same. Madhu nam ityatra nami iti dirgha bhavati. You have written it correctly. Same thing as vari. So I think we can say that we are done with the madhu word also. Thank you very much. Next set of words. Any questions so far? Next set of words, Ashutosh ji. Rid, var and payas. Very beautiful comparison between the three words.
Namaste Mahoday. Namaste सर्वेभ्यः.
How you want to go, line by line or word by word?
I think I go line by line because it's interesting to compare, and most of the time it is pairs which stands out as the black sheep.
Okay. So one comment, this kind of comparison, I recommend, encourage others also to do it. Not pick up random words and do it, but comparison for say Rama versus Sarva or comparison. This is a very beautiful comparison actually. I think he had only two words earlier, right? Var and Pious. And I thought I'll add a Rud to that because it's going to be a very nice comparison. So this kind of comparison, or for example, Shreyas versus Bhavat, very nice comparison. So try to spend some time in making such comparisons that will actually enhance your understanding of the prakriya. Okay, let's start.
Yeah. I think Ukarasya Lopa is clear, Samor Napansakat, Sakarasya Lopa is clear, then Vikalpin Chatvabhav, that's applicable only in case of Hrat, which becomes Hrad or Hrat.
Correct.
And that's a final form. Var, Ra becomes Visarga, Refasya Visarga. But in between Payasu, because of the Sakar there, Sakarasya Rutvam and then Refasya Visarga. So
Very
that's
good.
how
Very
the
good.
process flows. So,
Very
and
good.
that's why I use the different colors.
Very good. So final forms actually are same with the Visarga, but the Prakriya is different and you can clearly see it over here. One has a Rutva Visarga and other has just Visarga. Down the line in Roho Supi, this is going to show us explicitly. He's written over there, but that difference is going to surface up over there. So we have Vaha. By the way, Var means water. Payas means also water. It also means milk. Rid means Hriday, heart. So these are the three words. So Vaha, Payaha and Rid or Rit. Next.
Yeah.
One question, just a side remark. Let's take this word Rid or Rit. If I decide to do Dvitvam in this word, what would be the possible final forms? Anybody? If I decide to do Dvitvam in this word, what all would be the final forms? Sudhavalli ji. Oh, your hand is no more up. Okay.
Ridid.
Ridida. Ridida. Then?
Ritita.
Ritita. Then? Can't you apply Achorahabhyam Dve also? There is a Repa Hakara. No, you can't apply Achorahabhyam Dve. Or if you can apply, Ruddha is by which sutram? Anachicha. Rittata is also by Anachicha. Can you apply Achorahabhyam Dve or you cannot apply Achorahabhyam Dve? Anybody? Umaji.
नमस्कारः ऋकारः अस्ति किल महोदय रेपः नास्ति
R plus Ru iti asti. Therefore, Repha nasti. Okay, but Achorahabhyam Dve sutram has a Hakara in it. So why not use that?
व्यवधानमस्ति किल मध्ये ऋकारेण
so tatra vyanjanadvayam na vartate. So see, there is no vyanjana. Achorahabhyam Dvitvam happens only when there is a pair of vyanjanas. Ru appears as a H plus R. There is no R, there is a Ru, and therefore there is no Vyanjana over there. Let us assume it is H plus R plus U. Somehow magically this word is H plus R plus U. Now will you do Achorahabhyam Dve? Umaji, you can speak if you want. Oh, you're not. Okay, Srinivas Mahoday.
नमस्ते महोदय पूर्वम् अच्वर्णः नास्ति
अचोरहाभ्यां द्वे पूर्वम् अच्वर्णः नास्ति अतः अत्र एतादृशं द्वित्वं न संभवति. So this is a very silly question, but these are the things that we usually miss. I mean, I missed it out in my slide deck. You might not remember, but I remember I actually gave some random examples where there was a R in the start or H in the start and I showed a Dvitvam, and later on I realized that there is no Ach letter, so I shouldn't have shown that example, and then I corrected it on the slide deck. So small things also we sometimes miss out. Umaji, you have to say something over here.
No महोदय I'm done. धन्यवादः.
Prathama, shall I start?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
प्रथमा
तस्मात्
द्विवचनं।
विवचनं तु अतीव सरलः अस्ति सिम्पल् वर्णमेलनं प्रथमा बहुवचन once again payas plays in a different way. Var is a very simple thing. It's she sarvanam sthanam, then var e vari. There is an umagam in both hrit as well as payas jalantasya angasya mid agamah. So makarasya ukarasya api lopah bhavati ha na da adhikam e paya na sa adhikam e. And again, because of the sakar of payas, we see santamahata sanyogasya application being here. So there is a dirgha bhavati. So payansa adhikam e. So hrindi, payansi, then nakarasya anuswara, hrindi, payansi, punah hrindi, vari, payansi bhavati.
Correct. So let's step back. In the previous example, var and payas were in one group where a visarga was generated. Rud was in a different group. We moved to jas and suddenly the words changed the parties. Now rud and payas is in one group because there is a numagama, and var is in another group because there is no numagama. More interestingly, you see three combinations over here. Var, no numagama, no upadhadirgha. Rud, yes for numagama, no for upadhadirgha. And payas, yes for numagama, yes for upadhadirgha. So very beautiful comparison over here. And finally, even for that numagama, we have anuswarasya yayपर savarna acting in one case and anuswarasya yayपर savarna not acting in another case. So this particular chart actually shows precise differences between the three words and what happens in one word which does not happen in other. So rudrudirundi, vahavari vari, vahavari vari, payaha payasi payamsi, payaha payasi payansi. Let us go to tritiya.
त्या एक वचन तो सरल अस्ति हृदा वार पयसा द्विवचन once again payas is the black sheep, so sakarasya rutvam payrum adhikam bhyam payar bhyam hrusya parat refasya ukaradesha hashicha. So payavu, and this hashicha will keep applying in further down. So hrudabhyam varabhyam payobhyam.
And for var you cannot apply hashicha. Why?
Because it has to be a ru and not a ra.
Very good. It has to be a ru and not a r. So again, the same r which is in the payar has a different fate, and var has a different fate because it is generated because of ru, and therefore you have hashicha over there. That's it. Rudbhihi, Varbhi, Payobhi, same, right? Nothing else is there in this prakriya. Rudaha, Rudhi, Payansi, Payasi.
Correct. Saptami is the only
Saptami is Bahuvachanam. Okay.
So Hrud Chartvam, the karasya takara bhavati kharicha. This is the only thing that happens with her.
Very good.
It doesn't impact var or payas.
Very good.
Then refasya visarga ro supi. It is stopping actually here because otherwise var refa will become a visarga, which doesn't happen.
Correct. So var and that refa is being stopped from becoming a visarga. So var su iti bhavati, and then
and sakarasya shatvam because adesh pratyayo applies here.
Very good. Very good.
Then we come to payas because that is playing in a different way. So rutva visargo angasya padante sa visargasya vikalpen sakaradesha bhava. So payah su. And then as an option vashari applies. So you could have a payah su or a payasu.
Very good. Very good. Very good.
Su and varshu of course remained the same coming from.
Okay. And var plus su, varsu. How does adesha pratyaya apply over here? Id koho. That id pratyahara has repa over there. This is another place where I make mistakes in once or twice in the class. So id koho, id pratyahara has a repa over there. Therefore var plus su, varshu iti bhavati. And somebody is saying in var it is akara, so no hashicha. that is okay, but hashicha is specifically about atorora plutada plute hashicha. So you need to have a ru before going to hashicha. So there is no ru at all. So there is no question of hashicha. So what you are saying is right. The ru is not there and akara is not there. Both cases. So hashicha is not possible. That's all. Awesome.
Thank
so
you.
3 words, very beautifully organized. I'm very impressed with this. And basically, this comparison for these 3 words is actually very educative. It teaches us a lot. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Did I have any questions about? The only question I asked was about Wari. Okay. Next. That much faster, right? Vidyaji doesn't seem to be here, right? So Vidyaji is not over here. Anybody wants to just pick up Dhanush word on the fly? Is anybody ready on the fly? I will not ask any questions. But yeah, Purnima ji, you want to pick up? The word is over here. I can show on the slide. Dhanush.
अस्तु महोदय धनुष इति सकारान्त नपुंसकलिङ्गः उस् प्रत्ययान्तः धनुष शब्दः प्रथमाविभक्ति सुप्रत्यये परे अत्र हल्टाभ्यो दीर्घात् अनेन सु इत्यस्य लोपः भवति धनुस् इति स्थिते सकारस्य ऋत्वं विसर्गः धनुः इति रूपम्
Alkyabhyoni, Swamor Napumsakat. I don't know why is all these material written over here, but see, Swamor Napumsakat ittenin log bhavati Napumsakalinga vachaka shabda asti kila. Let's open the word on the website if you want. That's okay, that's okay. So I also was looking what exactly is written. So let's read what is written actually. Halgyabhyo dirgha sutisya pruktam hala is also applicable. Swamor napumsakat is applicable. Bhinneshu sthaleshu swatantra rupena vartamanayoho tvayoho sutra yugavat prapti asti. Vipratishyate param karyamittena swamor napumsakat ityasya prayogaha bhavati. Therefore, kliba gangat swamoho luksya. Therefore, swamor napumsakat is used over here. So then the su is gone and then sasajushoru and so on will create a dhanu. Okay, so this is how dhanu is created. Sambuddhi is also same. Dhanu, there is nothing new over here. A sambuddhi susadrusham eva asti. So this means that it is like a sambuddhi susadrusham. Let's go to dhanushi, which is again.
औट् प्रत्यय प्रदेश परे शी आदेशः शी आदेशानन्तरं तत्र धनुस् इ संयोगः धनुसि इति षत्वं भूत्वा धनुषी इति रूपम्
जस् प्रत्यय परे
जस् प्रत्यय प्रदे जशोः शी इति शी आदेशः तत्र अनन्तरं शी इत्यस्य धनुस् प्लस् इ तत्र नुमागमः भवति नपुंसकस्य जलजः इत्यनेन नुमागमानन्तरं न स इति अस्ति सान्तमहतः संयोगस्य इति सूत्रेण अत्र उपधादीर्घः धनूंस् इति भवति सकारस्य षत्वं धनुंषि इति रूपम्
excellent so this is impressive, you know, this is not her document but still you're able to speak it. This is exactly the kind of preparation that I want from everybody. So dhanu dhanushi dhanunshi dhanu dhanushi dhanushi dhanusha dhanurbhyam.
धनुर्भ्याम् इति भ्याम् हल् प्रत्यये परे अत्र पदसंज्ञा भवति धनुस् इत्यस्य ऋत्वविसर्गौ भूत्वा धनुर्भ्याम् विसर्गः न भवति भ इति हश् अस्ति अतः धनुर्भ्याम् इति रकारः एव उ अस्ति इति.
Okay, what is this written avadhyam? I also need to learn. Atra santatvat padante rutvam sajushbhinna tishashchad and so on is not taught. Okay, yeah. Bhis dhanushe dhanurbyam dhanubhya dhanusham saptami bahuvachanam. Let's go to saptami bahuvachanam. This is something I want to...
सप्तमी बहुवचनस्य सुप्रत्यये परे तत्र धनुस् प्लस् सु अत्रापि धनुस् इत्यस्य पदसंज्ञा सत्याम् अत्र सकारस्य ऋत्वं धनुर् इति अत्र सकारः अग्रे अस्ति अतः वाशरी अनेन विसर्गः सकारः विकल्पेन भवति धनुः सु इति धनुः सकार विसर्गस्य स्थाने सकारः आगच्छति चेत्
हाँ
धनुस्
धनुष प्लस सु एंड देन व्हाट हैपेंस
हा अग्रे तत्र षत्वं भवति
हाँ
सकार प्रत्ययावयवस्य सकारस्य षत्वं धनुः
हाँ
शु इति
हाँ
अ,
हाँ
यदि सकारः अस्ति चेत् तत्र पूर्वं प्रथमं प्रत्ययावयवस्य सकारस्य षत्वं अनन्तरं पूर्वं विद्यमानस्य सकारस्य ष्टुनाष्टुः इत्यनेन
हाँ
षकारः
Shakara. So this I want to rectify. In one of the previous classes we discussed, I actually discussed it incorrectly. I was confused when I said we will do Adesha Pratyaya in two places. Why? In first Dhanushu we will do Adesha Pratyaya in the final Shakara, and then we will also do Adesha Pratyayoho on the Sa, because it is the Pratyaya Dhanus us Pratyaya is there. In fact, I had a correct prakriya on the website. What happened to my brain, I don't know, and then I rectified it on the website and made this, and then I discussed this in one of the previous Abhyasa Varga classes, and then I realized that I think somebody discussed, Vidyaji only, I think I discussed with her, and then I suddenly realized that this cannot, the sakara of dhanus cannot become shakara, because dhanus is a pada over here. Dhanus plus su has dhanus as a pada. The Adesha Pratyaya Sutram only applies in Apadantasya Murdhanyaha context. There is no Apadantatva over here. So the Sakara of the Su Pratyaya is Apadanta. But Sakara of the Dhanus, even if it is a Pratyaya Sakara, it is not Apadanta. Therefore, Dhanus will not become Dhanush by Adesha Pratyayo. We have to apply Shtunashtuhu to get Dhanushu. Let me see if I ended up fixing it on the slide. Probably not, or if Dhanush. If not, then I'll fix it up soon. So this Dhanushu, it's already fixed now. So you have Adesha Pratyaya Pratyaya Sakarasya Shatvam, and then Shtunashtuhu Ityanena Shtutve Sakaraha. So this was actually correct, and then something happened and I made it incorrect on the website, but then it is now again rectified. So you have to apply Adesha Pratyaya and then you have to apply Shtunashtuhu. So this is the correct prakriya over here. That completes the discussion of the Dhanuswar, and then we are going to go to, for the rest of the class, we are going to go to the Akarant Strilinga words. Mala, Sa, Esha, Sarva, Amba. So not Sa, Esha, Tad, Etad becomes Sa, Esha. Neelima ji. Can you raise your hand? Are you here?
हरि ओम महोदय.
नमस्ते नमस्ते.
हरि ओम.
आकारान्त स्त्रीलिङ्गः माला शब्दः.
श्रूयते वा?
श्रूयते, सम्यक् श्रूयते. उच्यताम्.
अस्तु. नमस्ते. आकारान्त स्त्रीलिङ्गशब्दः माला शब्दः. माला अर्थवत्वात् धातुप्रत्ययः इति प्रातिपदिक संज्ञा. तदनन्तरं प्रथमा एकवचनस्य विवक्षायां सुप्रत्यय माला योग सु. तदनन्तरम् उपदेश उकारस्य इत्संज्ञा लोपे कृते माला योग स. तदनन्तरं हलङ्ग्याभ्यो दीर्घात् सुति स पृक्त हल इति माला आबन्तात् दीर्घात् अपृक्त सकारस्य लोपः. तथा माला अपृक्त.
What is aprukta?
सकारस्य लोपः. माला. माला.
What is aprukta?
एक वर्ण अस्ति स, अतः तस्य लोपः, सकारस्य लोपः.
उत्तमम् उत्तमं. सम्बुद्धि.
तदनन्तरं सम्बुद्धिः. माला योगसु. सम्बुद्धि एकवचनस्य विवक्षायां सुप्रत्ययः. माला योगस संज्ञा तथा लोपे कृते. तदनन्तरम् एकवचन सम्बुद्धिः इत्यनेन संबोधन सुप्रत्ययस्य सम्बुद्धि संज्ञा भवति. तदनन्तरं सम्बुद्धौ च इत्यनेन माला इति आबन्त अङ्गस्य आकारस्य सुप्रत्ययपरे एकारादेशः माले योग स तदनन्तरम् एङ् ह्रस्वात् सम्बुद्धेः एकारात् अङ्गात् हल्वर्णस्य लोपः माले सकारस्य लोपः माले
वेरी गुड माला
तदनन्तरं माले
प्रथमा द्विवचनम्
औ औट् माला योग औ औट् इत्यत्र मालायोग इतसंज्ञा लोपः कृते मालायोग औ तथा औङ्ग आपः इति माला आबन्तात् अङ्गात् औ इत्यस्य षि आदेशः औट् इत्यत्र षि आदेशः अस्ति अनेकाल्चित् सर्वस्य इत्यनेन सर्वादेशः भवति तथा स्थानिवद् भावात् षि प्रत्ययस्य षि इत्यस्य प्रत्ययसंज्ञा भवति तदनन्तरम् इत्संज्ञा लोपे कृते माला योग इ तदनन्तरं प्रथमयोः पूर्वसवर्णः इति पूर्वसवर्णे दीर्घे प्राप्ते दीर्घाज्जसि जस् प्रत्यय अस्ति दीर्घाज्जसि इत्यनेन निषेधः अस्ति अतः माले
आद्गुणः इति
आद्गुणः इत्यनेन माले इति रूपं भवति
why not use नादीचि
न वक्तुं शक्नोति
no that's okay anybody why not use नादीचि why use that's okay anybody I mean anybody wants to speak raise hand why not use नादीचि न आत् इचि मंजिरी भगिनी Adanta is not needed. At is raswa, not raswakara. It is any a or a. Sudhavalli ji.
माला दीर्घ अस्ति चेत् नादीची is for hraswakara.
The sutra doesn't say hraswakara, right? The sutra says na at ichi. At means avarnat, means akarat and akarat. So avarnat means akarat and akarat. Each pratyay pare atra dirgha na savarna dirgha na bhavati. Srinivas Mahoday.
दीर्घाज्यसि इति परसूत्रम् अस्ति
so again parjanyavat you can apply manadichi but dirghajyasicha is the sutram which is specifically designed for some other purpose and it automatically appears over here. Therefore paratvat atra parjanyavat you can say paratvat you can say either of the sutras is okay but this the Nadi Dirghajyasi Sutram is not designed for this use case. It is designed for use cases for real Dirgha words like Nadi and so on. But it is used over here. Not Nadi, Papi and so on, right? Dirghat Jasicha, where it is used on Nadi, Papi, both these cases. Yeah. Okay. Jas Pratyay is the same, I think. No, we have not discussed Jas yet. Jas Pratyay.
Jas. Mala Yoga Jas. माला योग असं इत्संज्ञा लोपे कृते तथा तस्य निषेधः अस्ति न विभक्तौ तुस्मा इत्यनेन निषेधः अस्ति तथा चुटु इति जकारस्य इत्संज्ञा कृते माला योग अस् इति रूपं भवति तदनन्तरं प्रथमयोः पूर्णसवर्णे दीर्घे प्राप्ते दीर्घाज्यसि इत्यनेन निषिध्यते अतः माला अस् इत्येव भवति तदनन्तरम् अकः सवर्णे दीर्घ इत्यनेन मालास् इति रूपं तदनन्तरं ऋत्वं भवति तथा वसानयोः विसर्जनीयः इति मालाः रूपं भवति मालाम्
Malam is Amipurvaha. There is nothing to discuss. Everybody knows.
Amipurvaha iti
Mala. Malaha. Shas. Let's go to Shas.
Mala. Shas pratyaya. Atra Mala yoga as tadanantaram प्रथम अत्र महोदय पूर्णसवर्णयोः प्रथमयोः पूर्णसवर्णः इति भवति अतः माला योग अस् इति भवति तदनन्तरं ऋत्वं तथा
मालास इति भवति,
मालास्
तदन्तं ऋत्वविसर्गे मालाः
ऋत्वं
इति
भवति मालाः
ओके
टा
तृतीया एकवचनं
अत्र टा इत्यत्र चुटु इत्यस्य इत्संज्ञा भवति तथा माला योग आ इति रूपं भवति तदनन्तरम् आङ्गी चाप् इति टा प्रत्ययपरे आ इत्यस्य एकारादेशः भवति
चापः आङ्गी चापः not chap
क्षम्यतां टाइपिंग मिस्टेक माले
माले
योग आ तदनन्तरम् एचोयवायावः इत्यनेन मालाय योग आ वर्णमेलनेन मालया इति रूपं भवति
भ्याम there is nothing
मालाभ्याम
मालाभिः ङे प्रत्यय let's go to ङे मालायै
माला माला योग गे चतुर्थी एकवचन माला योग ए अत्र याडापः इति माला शब्दात् गे इति गित् प्रत्यय अस्ति अतः याट् आगमः भवति आद्यन्तो टकितो इत्यनेन टित्वात् आद्यायः भवति माला योग याट् ए माला या ए इत्संज्ञा लोपः तथा माला वृद्धिरेचि इत्यनेन ऐकारः भवति माला यै मालायै इति रूपं भवति
मालायाः is the same yadapah मालायाः मालयोः मालायां same thing right yadapah and malasu is just the
malasu
very good thank you very much dhanyawad
thank you
there is something very interesting about these few cases but I'll hold on to it let's finish sarva amba and then if time permits I'll talk about this Reshmaji tad and etad we'll take one of them and then we'll ignore other. We'll just the same.
Namaste, Mohoday. Namaste. Yeah, it's almost the same. It's just one thing that is differs between that.
We'll take that.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So this is Dakaranta Strilinga Sarvanam Saujnakah Tad Shabdah. So it falls into the Tyadya Adi Gana. Sarvanam Gana is a bigger Gana, but a subset is a Tyadadi Gana. So therefore we have first we will have the Su iti Adesha its Saujna and all. Then since it is from Tadadi Gana, Tadoho Saha Savantyayoho Savanantayoho Atra Anantasya Takarasya Sa iti Adesha Bhavati. So the ta and the ta will become sa over here. After that, then since it is from Tyadadi Ganaha, Tyadadi Namaha, Atra Dakarasya Akaraha Bhavati. Tasmat Anantaram Ato Gune iti Akara Yoho Pararupa Ekadesha Bhavati. So the Akara in the sa and the akara which has been generated after because of the both together pararup ekadesha bhavati. Tasmat anantaram tap since it has to be changed to the stri form.
Very good.
We are adding a tap pratyaya because you have not taught. I have not written the sutra over
That's
there.
Okay.
Just
The important point over here is tap is only to be added when there is a haswa akara. So we wait till we obtain a haswa akara and then we add a tap. So the sutram that we will learn will say that there will be a raswa akara to add a tap pratyaya.
Yes. Then there is again its saudhnya for pakara and takara, and then we have a remaining, and akasavarne dirgha causing the sa and a to become sa, and haladnyam kyo dirghat suti pruktam hala.
Sutisya pruktam hala.
Sutisya pruktam hala. Sakarasya lopah bhavati. So sa is the final form.
Correct. Au and out.
Au and out. So here again, because it is from Tyadadi Ganaha, that the will become a. It will follow for each and every step. The becoming a.
Correct.
Then Atogune will again turn them into ek pararupa adesha ta. Tab pratyaya agachati atra. Puna atra ita saudhnya lopaha.
Correct.
Okay. So now here, what happens here? The au will get a shi adesha because of anga apah abanta. Because it is an abanta anga, so au will have a shi adesha. And then the lashakvat tadhite shakarase संज्ञातस् पुनतस्य लोपः अत्रापि प्रथमयोः पूर्वसवर्णः इति प्राप्ते दीर्घाजसि इत्यनेन निषेधः भवति. आद्गुणः इत्यनेन ते इति रूपं सिद्ध्यति.
Very good, very good, very good. In taha, it is again same, so we can skip all the initial steps. They are going to be identical. So you have ta, ta plus a by doing ato gune and adding a ta pratyay and doing akasavarni dirgha. You have ta plus as and then you can take from there.
Yeah. So for ta plus as, here also we have दीर्घाज प्रथमयोः पूर्वसवर्ण दीर्घ अस्ति किन्तु निषेधः अस्ति दीर्घाजसि इत्यनेन. तर्हि तत्र ता स इति एव अकसवर्णे दीर्घः भवति. ता स पुनः ऋत्वविसर्गं भवति ताः इति.
Very good. सा ते ताः ताम ते ताः. Let's go to shas pratyay. Tam is amipurvah. Shas. Let's start with ta plus as, where you already do an akasavarne dirgha in ta plus a. So start with ta plus as.
Okay. I think I just copied just and shas together.
Which is not correct.
I just realized while you're listening to Mala.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. But you can speak right now. That's not difficult. So.
Okay.
Ta plus as, what will happen here?
So
Savarna dirgha will happen.
Savarna dirgha will happen, and then Rutva Visarga will follow.
So you wrote akasa, not Savarna dirgha, Purva Savarna. Savarna dirgha will not have. Savarna dirgha is in the previous step. Your Prathamayo Purva Savarnaha iti Purva Savarna dirghaha bhavati, because there is o dirghajyasi cheti nishedha. So Prathamayo Purva Savarna iti Purva Savarna dirghe prapte tas iti bhavati. So a and a combined to form Purva Savarna dirgha, not Savarna dirgha, Purva Savarna dirgha to form tas and then taha iti bhavati.
Okay.
Taya we can skip. We just did Malaya right now. Tabhyam tabhi. Let's go to tasyai. So you have ta plus.
So
we start from this line, ta plus a on the next page.
Yes. So ta plus a atra. Okay. Ta has already come and A is because of the ne it's Saudhya Lopa A. So here what happens is Sarvanamah Syadrasvascha iti sutrena tatra Syat iti agamah bhavati. Punha tatra angasya rasvah bhavati. So the ta becomes ta, rasva becomes over there, and there is a Syat iti agama. Then takarasya iti saudhya lopah sya avashishyate. तस्यै इति वृद्धिरेचि इत्यनेन वृद्धि भवति. तस्यै इति रूपं सिद्ध्यति.
So this syat agama that is coming over here, whom is it blocking? What agama is being blocked and sat is coming in place of it? Anybody? Which agama is being blocked? These are simple questions. Savita ji.
Smai adesha.
Smai. Smai has adantat angat. So rasva akara asti chedeva smai bhavati. And smai is an adesh on the pratyaya. I am asking about syat as agama. Sri Rangaji.
Yata.
Yada. Yat iti agamaha samanya rupena malayaha ityatra yat iti agamaha sambhavati. That yat is blocked by syat. So that's how syat comes over here.
But then Syat is only for Sarvanam.
That's what I'm saying, right? So if that, see, if you consider this particular form ta plus a, what are the two sutras that will act over here? Yadapaha will act because it is akarant anga. So it is abant. Yadapaha says abantam angam asti chet yat iti agamaha bhavati. So yat agama is a possible candidate over there. Sarvanamna Syat Hraswasya says that Syat Agama is also a possible candidate over there. So you have to do a comparison. We usually take these things for granted. I did not discuss, or maybe I have discussed, I don't know in detail, but these things should be worked out at the back of the mind. Yat is for all Akaranta words. Syat is only for Akaranta Sarvanama Samyaka words. So what is the relationship between them? It is a subset superset, Utsarga versus Apavada. So all Akaranta words is a bigger circle. The Akaranta all Akaranta Strilinga words is a bigger circle. Akaranta Strilinga Sarvanama Samyaka words is a smaller circle. Therefore, Sarvanamna Syat Hraswasya is coming and for an Abanta Anga by blocking the Yat Agama. Somebody is saying At for Nadi, but is Ta a Nadi Samyaka? If Ta is not a Nadi Samyaka, At Agama is not in the picture over here. Only if it is the Nadi Samyaka, At Agama is in the picture. In this particular case, there is no At Agama possible. So Tasyaihi, I hope I clarified that. If not, you can raise your hand. Tasyaihi.
Yeah, it's
Tasyai Tabhya, Tasyai, Tasyaha, Tasyaha, Tabhyaha. Same thing, nothing new over here. Sarvanamna Syat Hraswasya is the same thing. Let's go to Tasam.
So the prakriya is exactly the same until the tap comes in picture, and we have ta and am. Am as a shashti bahuvachan pratyaya. Now here we have ami sarvanamnah sut. Atra sut iti agamah bhavati. Tatra ita संज्ञा लोपे कृते स अवशिष्यते वर्णमेलनं कृत्वा तासाम् इति रूपं भवति.
Correct, very good. I just want to give an observation. I am not asking you any questions. I'm just saying there are different ways to write sutras, and some things might appear more natural as compared to others. What Panini Maharshi does is this. Observe. In case of Am Pratyaya, he does a Sut Agama. Sut comes before that Am. Theoretically, he could have done this even for Yadapaha, along with Yadapaha. So instead of saying Sarvanamnah Syat Hraswasya, where Syat is blocking Yat, because Yadapaha would give Yat, and then Sarvanamna Syat Hraswasya would block Syat. Instead of doing that, Panini Maharshi could have given theoretically another agama called sutta. It is not uncommon to give two agamas one after the other. We will see some examples in the Tinganta Prakaranam also. So you retain Yat as it is. Instead of replacing Yat by Syat, you retain as Yat as it is, and somehow exploit this sutta and use it as an anuvrutti and do a sutta agama before that Yat, still giving Syat. So it was still possible not to give Syat Agama, but retain the original Yat Agama and reuse the Sut Agama that is in Ami Sarvanamnaha Sutta, because Sarvanama is there, Sutta is there, both these words can come as an anuvritti. It is possible to reorder the sutras to create another agama on over here. Somebody is asking double agama. Yes, double agamas are common. We will learn examples of double agama in the Tinganta Prakaranam when we study Vidhiling Lakara. So there are cases of double agamas. There are definitely a lot of cases of double agamas that you will come across. Anyway, this was just a side observation that if somebody wants, they can, if those who are enthusiastic, can try to see how this particular observation can fit and a new combination of sutras can be generated. It's a good food for thought. What this exercise helps is, and why I'm saying all this, is that it actually reinforces your understanding of the current sutras. So unless you have understood the current sutras thoroughly, you can't move them here and there. So this kind of exercise, even if it is successful or not, is a different story. It will reinforce your understanding of the existing sutras. Okay, let's go to Tasyam. Same thing actually. Sarvanamna Syat Hraswasya iti Syat Agamaha, but there is an Am Adesha. So let's take that once. Tasyam. So let's start with plus ta plus why are you directly creating arm over here? I don't know. Where is the
Oh,
sutram that converts ni to arm?
sorry, copy, paste. No, copy,
ङेराम
paste.
नद्याम नीभ्यः इति सूत्रेण नी प्रत्ययस्य आम आदेशः भवति. So you have ta plus a plus am. ङेराम नद्याम नीभ्यः. So ni pratyasya abantat vihitasya gi pratyasya am adesha bhavati, and then you have ta plus am, same sarvanamnasya adhrasvasya, and tasyam iti rupam siddhyati, and tasu is also very similar on the same lines. We
Yeah.
skip tayoho, but I'll take tayoho in either sarva or amba. Again, osicha is not osicha. What sutram? Angichapa is osicha and angichapa. So angichapa is used over here.
Angichapa.
Angichapa. Okay. Esha. Let's take only Esha, and then we'll say everything is same.
Yes. Here we we have already come up to sa.
Ha.
So and then because of Adesh Pratyayoho, we get the form Esha.
Ha. So
Because
what?
it
How
belongs
is Adesha Pratyaya
to the
applied over
info.
here? Huh? Anybody? How is Adesha Pratyaya applied over here? Explain me how is exactly Adesha Pratyaya being applied over here. What are the conditions? What are the nimittas? What the sutra says, and how does it run over here? How is Adesha Pratyaya used over here?
A belongs to the inco thing, and
Correct. A belongs to inco. So that's one thing. What else? So that condition is satisfied. What is the other condition? Apadantasya.
It should be a padant.
So this is a padanta. A is not a pada. So that is second condition. What is the third condition? Adesha pratyayoho. What kind of relationship? Is this adesha? Is this pratyaya? What is it? Srinivas Mahoday. I can actually ask this question to you when your turn comes, but yeah, it's okay.
तत्र सकारः आवश्यकः. तत्र अत्र सकारः पूर्वस्मिन् सोपाने लोपः तत्र इत्युक्ते प्रत्ययस्य सकारः. अत्र सकारद्वयम् अस्ति. एकं
प्रत्ययस्य सकारस्य लोपः जातः. सम्यक्. सो एसा इत्यत्र सकारस्य षकारः कथं भवति? आदेशप्रत्ययो इति सूत्रम्. इदानीं तु प्रत्ययः नास्ति, तस्य लोपः जातः. अतः आदेशप्रत्ययो इत्यनेन सकारस्य षकारः कथं भवति इति प्रश्नः.
अवयवः सकारः अवयवः अस्ति.
कस्य अवयवः अस्ति? विच सकार? एसा इत्यस्य सकारः अस्ति किल? प्रत्ययसकारस्य तु विलोपः जातः. एसा इति सकारस्य एषा इति जातम्. कथं जातम् इति प्रश्नः. आदेशप्रत्ययः इति सूत्रस्य प्रयोगः कथं क्रियते?
तत्र आदेशस्य भागः, आदेशस्य अवयवः अस्ति अथवा प्रत्ययस्य अवयवः सकारः अस्ति. तर्हि
अत्र किमस्ति?
अत्र तु
भवद्भिः सूत्रस्य अर्थः उक्तः. आदेशः नो चेत् प्रत्ययः. टु काम्पोनेण्ट्स् आर् देयर्. अत्र किमस्ति?
आदेश अस्ति किल महोदय? तत्र
कथम् अस्ति आदेशः?
तत्र तकारस्य सकारः भवति किल?
सो एतद् इत्यस्य तकारस्य सकारः भवति तदोससावनन्त्ययोः इत्यनेन. अतः अयम् आदेशः अस्ति. So purposely I asked this particular thing because in 90% of the 99% of the cases we are using adesha pratyayoho for what? For the pratyaya cases. But this is a case where we are using adesha pratyayo for adesha case. The sa is from the adesha, it is becoming sha. Srinivasji, I have another question specifically for you because there was some error in what you spoke just now. So tell me, what is the meaning of adesha pratyayo that you just now spoke? Just the meaning of the sutram.
तत्र प्रत्ययस्य अवयवः सकारः अस्ति चेत्
अथवा
न अत्र न सूत्रार्थे
न सूत्रार्थे किमस्ति? अत्र अस्मिन् उदाहरणे किमस्ति तद् न पृष्टं. सूत्रस्य कः अर्थः?
सूत्रार्थे तु प्रत्ययस्य यदि सकारः अवयवः अस्ति
इति एकः अंशः. प्रत्ययस्य अवयवः सकारः अस्ति एकः अंशः. नो चेत्
आदेशस्य आदेश यथा सुट् वा न सुट् वा आगमः
सुट् इति आगमः अस्ति सि आदेशप्रत्ययोः इत्यत्र अंशद्वयं विद्यते एकस्य एव सूत्रस्य द्वयोः स्थलयोः अत्र प्रयोगः कृतः अस्ति प्रत्ययस्य कृते अपि आदेशस्य कृते अपि so if that sakara which is being converted to shakara is a pratyaya still it's okay if it is adesha that is also okay in case of examples like rameshu and so on it was pratyaya in case of esha it is adesha so that is the fundamental meaning of this sutra there is a minor detailed aspect that I just now did not speak. I wanted to extract it out from you. So adesha pratyayo ityatra adesha तथा प्रत्यय इत्येतयोः अर्थविधानं पृथक् पृथक् कथं क्रियते प्रत्ययस्य so you are on the right track प्रत्ययस्य अवयवः this is an important word अवयवः the sakara that you are converting to shakara should be a part of the pratyaya it can be whole pratyaya also I mean a part is a whole so but it should be a part of the pratyaya but when you are talking about adesha avayavaha condition is not there the sakara that is to be converted to shakara has to be fully the adesha it cannot be an avayava of the adesha so if the adesha is a full sakara or if the adesha is like C then sakara is an avayava on that adesha avayava on the adesha is not permitted avayava only on the pratyaya is permitted I think we discussed this a few classes ago maybe 2-3 classes ago let us go to adesha pratyaya sutra this is a minor quirk we have to understand this properly adesha pratyaya iti sutram see this आदेश रूपस्य सकारस्य प्रत्यय अवयव रूपस्य सकारस्य so how should that sakar be it should be an adesha यदि कश्चन सकारः स्वयं आदेश रूपेण विहितः अस्ति it should be an आदेश of sakara like how it happened in case of tados savanintyayoh ta got converted to s whereas pratyayasya sandarbhena pratyayasya avayavah asti Therefore, these are two small different things in the same sutram that we need to clearly understand. So that completes Esha and then everything else is the same. So thank you very much, Reshmaji. We will say both of your words are done. Dhanyawada. Srinivasa Mahoday. Let's open your presentation. She's done so much hard work in putting the presentation. 40 slides. How much time you required? I don't know. Kutrasti Srinivasa Mahoday. He is here, right? Namaste.
नमस्ते
So you want me, I'll move the slides and you can speak. Is that okay?
आम् निश्चयेन क्षम्यतां तत्र सर्वेषां सूत्रांशानां दृढता नास्ति परन्तु
चिन्ता मास्तु
अस्तु तर्हि
मिलित्वा पठामः
तत्र निष्पत्तिः सृ इति उणादिप्रत्ययेन
what I'll say is spend a little more time on this because what you have on this slide is very different and prakriya is like same for mala sarva most of the cases so we'll skip the prakriya slides whatever you have written over here you can discuss this in details
अस्तु महोदय सर्वादीनि सर्वनामानि इति सूत्रेण सर्व शब्दस्य सर्वनामसंज्ञा सर्व तत्र गणपाठे सर्व सर्वादिगणः अस्ति तत्र सर्व इति प्रथमशब्दः
सृ धातोः सृ गतौ इति धातोः वन इति प्रत्ययः भवति सृ प्लस वन इति उणादि प्रत्ययः सर्व इति शब्दः सिद्ध्यति सो सर्व इति शब्दस्य निष्पत्ति उणादि प्रत्ययेन भवति टाप्
अनन्तरं सर्व योग टाप् प्रत्ययात् सर्वा इति प्राप्यते सः भवन्तः शब्दः यतोहि टाप् डाप् चाप् इति भवन्तः अनन्तरं परिभाषा अस्ति प्रातिपदिकग्रहणे लिङ्गविशिष्टस्यापि ग्रहणमिति एतया परिभाषया सर्वा इत्यस्य अपि प्रातिपदिकत्वं प्राप्यते
प्रातिपदिकसदृशः व्यवहारः भवति
अनन्तरम् अर्थः कः इति अनन्तरम् उदाहरणानि लिखितानि
उच्यताम्
तत्र सकल अथवा समग्र इति अर्थः त्रिषु वचनेषु अपि प्रयुज्यते एकवचने उदाहरणं सर्वा कविता पठिता वा पाठिता इति वक्तुं
सर्वा कविता पाठिता इत्युक्ते समग्र सकला कविता पाठिता। प्रथमायाः पङ्क्तेः आरभ्य अन्तिमं पङ्क्तिं यावत् सर्वा एका एव कविता। सर्वा इत्युक्ते सर्वाः इति नास्ति, एका एव कविता, परन्तु समग्ररूपेण पठिता इति अर्थः।
अनन्तरं द्विवचने तत्र अङ्कन्यः सन्ति, लेखन्यः सन्ति, समूहद्वयम् इति।
समूहद्वयमस्ति, सम्यक्।
तत्र सर्वे अङ्कनी लेखन्यौ लेखनाय प्रयुज्यते। बहुवचने सर्वाः लेखन्यः एकत्र सन्ति इति उदाहरणं।
सर्वे इति द्विवचने अस्ति, अङ्कनी लेखन्यौ अतः प्रयुज्यते इति द्विवचने। यद्यपि तत्र अङ्कनीनां लेखनीनां संख्या बहुवचने वर्तते, परन्तु तत्र अङ्कनी इति एकः समूहः, लेखनी इति अपरः समूहः, अङ्कनी लेखन्यौ इति द्विवचने। एण्ड सर्वाः लेखन्यः एकत्र सन्ति। तत्र तु पदार्थानां बहुत्वम् अत्र स्वीकृतमस्ति। अग्रे सुप्रत्यय is nothing else.
आदौ तत्र मुख्यविषयाः सर्वशब्दस्य रूपाणां कृते तत्र आबन्तत्वात् औट् इत्यत्र औङ् आपः इति। अनन्तरं
we'll go there. You can read this slide.
अस्तु, तर्हि अत्र मुख्यः तु औङ् आपः इति। आबन्तस्य अङ्गस्य षि आदेशः।
वेरि गुड्। अनेकाल्त्वात् सर्वादेशः।
अनन्तरं षि इत्यस्य तशक्वतद् इत्यनेन।
This I see on many slide decks, many presentations, so I just want to correct. This is not anekalatvat, okay? I have seen many people speaking and writing like this. It is anekaltvat. Anekal plus to, anekaltvat. Ekaltvat. Anekal is, this is not kal as in time. It is eka plus al. That's how ekal is created. It has nothing to do with kal. So ekal plus anekal plus to anekaltvat or ekaltvat it is. And then दशक्वतद्धिते इत्संज्ञा तस्य लोप आद्गुणः दीर्घाज्यस्य चेति निषिध्यते, आद्गुणः इति एकादेशः भवति, सर्वे इति सिद्ध्यति। सर्वा सर्वे सर्वाः सर्वां सर्वे सर्वाः, we learnt like this when I was in school. सर्वया सर्वाभ्यां सर्वाभिः सर्वस्यै. Let's go to सर्वस्यै. Let's repeat this प्रक्रिया once.
एकक्षणं। तत्र ज्ञे इति आगच्छति। अनन्तरं तत्र मुख्य अंशः तु सर्वनाम्नः स्याढ्रस्वश्च इति सूत्रं। तत्र सर्वनाम संज्ञकः अस्ति, अतः स्याट् इति आगमः, अपि च दीर्घ अङ्गस्य ह्रस्वः भवति, अतः सर्वा इति सर्व भवति। अनन्तरं स्याट् इति आगमः, तत्र टकारस्य इत्संज्ञा लोपः, आकार इकारयोः वृद्धिरेचि इत्यनेन ऐकारः एकादेशः।
वेरी गुड। सर्वस्यै।
सर्वस्यै।
सेम। सर्वाभ्यः सर्वस्याः सर्वस्याः। लेट्स गो टू ओस् प्रथमा षष्ठी द्विवचनम्। दिस पार्ट।
तत्र मुख्यः अस्ति आङ्गीचापः इति।
वेरी गुड, वेरी गुड। आङ्गीचापः इत्यनेन ओसि च एण्ड् आङ्गीचापः।
आम्, तत्र टा अपि च ओसि परे आबन्तस्य अङ्गस्य एकारादेशः भवति, अतः
अय, अय इज हाफ य, सर्व प्लस अय।
ऐ इति, अतः ऐ इति एचो यवायावः इत्यनेन ऐ आदेशः
सर्वयोः इति, ऐ आदेशे कृते सर्वयोः इति भवति। Very good. Sarvasam, we just discussed tasam. So same thing over here. Ami sarvanamnaha sutta. You have anyway written over here. Ami sarvanamnaha sutta. And sarvasyam, let's go there. Let's discuss this one. Two key sutras over here. Saptami ekvachanam.
अत्रापि मुख्यः तु एकं तु ङेरां नद्यां नीभ्यः इत्यनेन गि प्रत्ययस्य आम् आदेशः। साधु। अनन्तरं पुनः सर्वनाम्नः स्याढ्रस्वश्च इत्यनेन वेरी गुड स्याट् इति आगमः।
ह्रस्वादेशे कृते अनन्तरं सर्वस्याम् अकस्वर्णे दीर्घ इति स्या प्लस् आम् सर्वस्याम् इति सिद्ध्यति। एंड देन सर्वासु इज
तत्र तु वर्णमिदं
वर्णमिदम् आकारान्तस्त्रीलिङ्गः अम्बार्थकः अम्बा शब्दः
अत्र निष्पत्तिः अभिगतौ घञ् प्रत्ययः स्त्रियां पुनः टाप् प्रत्ययस्य योजनेन अम्बा इति प्राप्यते जननी इत्यर्थः सामान्यः अर्थः जननी इति पुनः टाप् प्रत्ययान्तः अस्ति अतः आबन्तः पुनः तत्र प्रातिपदिकग्रहणे लिङ्गविशिष्टस्यापि ग्रहणम् इत्यनेन
सदृशं कार्यं भवति प्रातिपदिक संज्ञा साक्षात् न विधीयते प्रातिपदिकसदृशं कार्यं भवति इति वदामः
अम्बार्थकशब्दाः अम्बा अक्का अल्ला इति त्रयः शब्दाः
करेक्ट सो लेट्स गो टू दैट अम्बा अक्का अल्ला हियर
अत्र मुख्यः सम्बुद्धि प्रक्रियायाम् अम्बार्थनद्योर्ह्रस्वः इति
वेरी गुड
सूत्रेण अङ्गस्य ह्रस्व आदेशः भवति अतः अम्बा इत्यस्य स्थाने अम्ब इति प्राप्यते
वेरी गुड which sutram is blocked and ambarthanadyorhasva comes
73106
what happens with mala plus sa must be there in the previous slide deck, right? Go there. I forgot whether we discussed this or not. Anybody? I'm waiting for somebody to raise hand and tell me which is the sutram.
सुलोपः भवति
न केन सूत्रेण माला इत्यस्य माले इति कथं भवति अम्बा इत्यस्य अम्बे इति कथं न भवति इति प्रश्नः आशुतोष जी सम्बुद्धौ च इति सूत्रेण माला इति आबन्तस्य अङ्गस्य एकारादेशः भवति दिस् सम्बुद्धौ च इस् this sambudhau cha is immediately blocked by the next sutram sambuddhau cha and ambartha nadyor rasva. So ambartha nadyor rasva creates the raswadesha which blocks the ekaradesha and then you get amba by ing rasva sambuddhe. Whether it is rasva or inganta you still get sulopa giving amba. Everything else is same what you have discussed so far. So I think we can stop here unless you want to discuss anything particular. I'm happy to.
Nit pratyeshu yadapah iti purvam.
Let's talk about that because I also want to discuss something over here. Let's talk about this.
Tatra mukhyah tu yadapah iti आबन्तात् अङ्गात् परस्य नित् प्रत्ययस्य याट् अत्र न्ये इति अस्ति नित् प्रत्ययः अतः याट् इति आगमः तत्र टकारस्य इत्संज्ञा लोपः या इति अवशिष्यते अनन्तरं वृद्धिरेचि इत्यनेन आकार एकारयोः एकारादेशः एकादेशः अम्बायै
okay and same thing for others. Now there is something else. Thank you very much. This is all what we wanted to discuss. Now there is something else that I wanted to discuss over here. As I mentioned, and again this is speculation, this is like for those who are interested in grammar and want to fiddle around with the sutras, this is food for thought and I'm happy to discuss this offline if somebody wants to take this ahead. It can be a small mini exercise as well. So see, I was talking that in case of sarvanamna syad rasvascha, I hope you are able to see, or maybe I'll change the color to say white. For sarvanamna syad rasvascha, which is syat agama, I said that you can actually use a yat agama. So get rid of the syat as a special agama and then do a sut agama before that. So sa plus yat will eventually give you syat. So that is one part. If somebody is actually interested, they can try out how the prakriya proceeds or how the sutra patha needs to be changed so that that particular syat can be replaced by a sut agama. I'm going to give you another radical thought where not just, so what we saw is that syat is not needed. You can piggyback on the existing yat. Now I'm going to show you that even yat is not needed. See what happens in case of your amba or mala plus chaturthi ekvachana nye pratyaya. What you do is there is already an agama called there is an already agama called at which happens in the nadi case. All these sutras are extremely closely connected. So if you go to Yadapaha, Sutram and see the ordering, a few sutras here and there just before that. So see what is happening. This Sarvana, let's change the color again. This Sarvanamna Syad Haswascha, I told that there is no need of Syat Agama and you can use Yadapaha. You can piggyback on the Yat Agama. Now I'm going to give you yet another very interesting idea. You don't even need the Yat Agama. You can actually piggyback on At Agama. So At Agama, which is given for the Nadi Samyaka case, you just say, I want to do the same Agama for Abanta case. What will happen? I will give you one example and then you can take it up, those of you are interested, completely optional. So what will happen in this particular case? If, let's take an example of, where is the color? Give me 1 minute. Let's take an example of say mala, and if I have mala plus say nye pratyaya, I am going to do an at agama by inheriting from the previous sutram anadyaha, and at will come as the agama, it will be taken as the anuvritti. Now what happens? Somebody is saying ya comes as an anuvritti. From where does ya come as an anuvritti? I don't know. That's a good thought that maybe ya comes as an anuvritti. What I'm saying is that you don't need the yat agama and you don't need the syat agama. Piggyback on that at agama. How do you use that at agama? So you use that at agama over here. And if you just do mala plus at plus a, you will not be able to generate malayai. Malayai is the final form. And in order to generate malayai, observe what happens. When you reuse that at agama, a plus a actually gives you I. So by atascha, you will get a vruddhi and you will get an I. So malayai, that I is already there. And you already need only the yakara. The way to do it is in gherangiti, you are doing a guna. Instead of, or just like that, what you do is akarasya aikara deshaha. You change akara to aikara, which is a much simpler operation than doing all sorts of new agamas and so on. In, for example, osicha and so on in Tritya Ekvachanam, Saptami Dvivachanam, Shashti Dvivachanam, you're anyway changing R to A. In Sambuddhi also you're changing R to A. So in the similar spirit, you change R to I instead of A. So you will get Mala becoming Malai and Malai plus I will become Malayai by Ayadesha. So if you do a simple transformation of A plus I, you can get rid of the Yat Agama, you can get rid of the Syat Agama, you can piggyback, reuse the existing At Agama of Nadi Samyaka words even for Abanta, and Malai plus I becomes Malayai. Similarly, Malayaha, Malayaha, Malayam, all the words will be generated. So by, and this is an alternative arrangement of the Sutra Patha, where you can actually do an A to I conversion and try using an existing Agama. Try, anybody who is interested, either, you can chat with me offline or just try this particular approach and see if you are stuck anywhere or if this is indeed a way to derive this particular set of words and so on. So this is just a food for thought, nothing specific to our course. And obviously, as the Sutra Patha exists today, is going to be Syat, Yat, and so on. No change, is just like a hypothetical food for thought. So with this, Samapayamaha, we have completed all the promised words for today's class. So tomorrow is going to be the last class of our Abhyasa Varga. Whatever words are remaining, we will also, very simple Halanta words are remaining, most of the Halanta words, and I think Mati and Dhenu are the words that are remaining. So very simple set of words are remaining. We will finish the entire Abhyasa Pustakam by tomorrow's class. Any questions? If not, let us stop over here and we will meet tomorrow. Reminder, please discuss or think about ikoche vibhakto, why achi is present in that particular sutra. If not, we will discuss that in tomorrow's class in the beginning. Samapayamaha. अष्टाध्यायी जगन्माता यस्य चित्तात् समुत्थिता वेदानामुपकाराय तस्मै पाणिनये नमः। शब्द ब्रह्म समाराध्य कृतवान्यो विलक्षणं सर्वाश्चर्यविदं शास्त्रं तस्मै पाणिनये नमः। येन धौता गिरः पुंसां विमले शब्दवारिभिः तमश्चाज्ञानजं भिन्नं तस्मै पाणिनये नमः। धन्यवादः।